Kashi as a traveler without an itinerary. Papa had no plans. Papa often faced unsympathetic situations, but he was never desperate or frustrated. Instead, he found them as God-given tests to remain calm and unruffled. Just like gold being melted and hammered repeatedly to make fine jewelry, these trying moments made him a finer being who is in tune with the grand designer. Papa says, man's eyes are opened to the transitory nature of the world through the bitter experiences which he gains in the course of life. And then Jhansi. During his wanderings, Papa would often retreat to a quiet meditative place to be in communion with the divine, like a dewdrop slipping into the shining sea. According to Papa, prayer and meditation are essential to destroy the veil of ignorance that has clouded the soul. And Papa's words, in meditation, your mind should think only of God who resides within you and not wander about in the midst of passing scenes of the objective life. The mind going inward through the practice of prayer and meditation finds the presence of the divine, first within, then without, everywhere. So the purpose of solitude, the purpose of withdrawal, beautifully is brought out. Because otherwise, if we are in the company, we may be talking so many things, so many subjects will come. And along with that, our likes and dislikes and prejudices and attractions and attachment and cravings, everything gets kindled. So when we are alone in a place, surrounded by Mother Nature only, it will be easy. Then comes Himalayas. Papa's Himalayan journey took him to many ancient pilgrim centers. Haridwar, Rishikesh, Kedarnath, Badrinath, the lofty peaks of mountains covered with rolling waves of clouds, and the holy Ganga that flows in all calmness and majesty awaited him. He walked on, losing himself in the divine splendor. He felt like a baby in his mother's lap as he was enveloped by a sense of serenity. There are 3 chapters set for Himalayan. Papa was bubbling with joy. He was not just narrating. As we keep on reading, it transports us to a different realm. So he says, for freedom from attachment, the most efficacious means is a recourse from time to solitude. The renunciation that is required of the sadhaka is the renunciation principally of attachments existing in the mind. Renunciation is not outside. Renunciation principally of attachments existing in the mind. So Himalayas provide, a conducive, congenial atmosphere for the mind to well upon these themes. Mathura, Gokul, Vrindavan. Papa acknowledged and adored both personal and impersonal vision of God. For him, both these aspects, Saguna and Nirguna, were complementary, not contrary or contradictory, in fact. In fact, the impersonal is manifest In due course, he reached Ajmer. It was night. While he was resting in the station, along with some sadhus who also had arrived by the same train, the railway police objected and asked all of them to go out. He sought a place under a tree in front of the station within the compound. But here again the policeman interfered and drove him away. Knocking about for some time, he saw at last a spot under another tree in a far-off corner of the railway compound. As he had nothing to spread on the floor, he lay himself down in the bare ground. When his nose came in close proximity with the ground, he felt the strong smell of urine. Now, next is the touching expression. "O Ram, how kind you are." You make your humble slave pass through even every kind of experience, all for his good. We may read. This condition taught him further. What a folly it was to make much of this perishable body. And it was tended greatly to make him find his true level, which is indeed very, very low. To afford him the benefit of this experience, O Ram, thou alone appeared as the policeman and brought about the circumstances. Here Ramdas, the child of Ram, slept soundly till morning in the loving embrace of that all-powerful being Ram. We can't even imagine, no? We can't conceptualize anything. Just imagine. Unless the surrender becomes total, where no situation, no individual, no object becomes separate from him, no? And every such experience, he is in a position to take it as a test for refining him. Knocking about for some time, he saw at last a spot under another tree in a far-off corner of the railway compound. As he had nothing to spread on the floor, he lay himself down on the bare ground. When his nose came in close proximity with the ground, he felt the strong smell of urine. O Ram, how kind you are. You make your humble slave pass through every kind of experience, all for his own good. This condition taught him further. Still what a folly it was to make much of this perishable body. So when we pass urine or stools, we take it as a natural activity of the body. But now we know that God is reminding of the perishable nature of the body. Because it still contains everything, and to which we give a lot of importance. Under the skin, everything is there. This condition taught him further still what a folly it was to make much of this perishable body, and it was tended greatly to make him find his true level, which is indeed very, very low. If this is indeed very, very low, what can we make out? To afford him the benefit of this experience, O Ram, thou alone appeared as the policeman and brought about the circumstances. Here Ramdas, the child of Ram, slept soundly till morning in the loving embrace of that all-powerful being, Ram. So, and Papa says in this board, Liberation is possible only through the human body. And to waste this life in pursuit of sense pleasures, instead of trying to reach God, is indeed pitiable. Body is only a vesture, a mask, or a vehicle, impermanent and transitory. Liberation is possible only through the human body, no doubt about it. And to waste this life in pursuit of sense pleasures, instead of trying to reach God, is indeed pitiable. Body is only a vesture, a mask, or a vehicle, impermanent and transitory. Ajmer. Like an innocent child who would carry an umbrella to a gathering convened to pray for rain, Papa trusted God unconditionally to take care of him. We had heard our elders sharing this incident, in Tamil Nadu, in Chennai or somewhere, many decades ago, when they were facing acute drought. Some great singer whom we don't know, he was brought, and there is a raga in Carnatic music, Amritavarshani. And the faith is that Amritavarshani, if it is sung, it will rain. So elaborate preparation was made, lot of publicity was made. Rajaji was the chief minister then. Only Rajaji came with an umbrella. Rest of the people could not believe, So when this is mentioned, that Amritavarshani Raga will definitely be instrumental in getting good rains. Rajaji had implicit faith. So he had carried an umbrella. None of the others know. Trust in God. Trust in God's Leela. Same thing. Like an innocent child who would carry an umbrella to a gathering convened to pray for rain, Papa trusted God unconditionally to take care of him. Even when he was living in a jungle, infested with many venomous creatures, he had no fear, for he knew he was in the ever-protective hands of God. Many of you might remember, under the jute bags, Zag, he was like, there will be scorpions, so many insects, but nothing had attacked him. It rained. It rained. Amritavarshani. Ananda Amritavarshini, Amritavarshani is a beautiful song is there. It depends upon the faith of the person. Yeah. So here Papa says, a man without faith is a vacillating creature, vacillating between sorrow and fear, whereas he who possesses faith is the real hero who has conquered weakness and stands firm like a rock in all the storms of life. Junaghad. While traveling in the western India, Papa managed to visit contrasting terrains, from high and mighty Girnar hills that got 10,000 steps. To be more precise, 9,500. From high and mighty Girnar hills that got 10,000 steps to climb to the seaside town of Porbandar. But wherever he went, his sense of empathy and compassion towards his fellow beings, including animals, was intact, evident. And here comes the famous quotation, a quotation which we have to learn by heart. We have to get it imprinted in our heart. It is a source of perennial inspiration. The world we live in is a school in which observation and experience offer us immense possibilities for self-improvement, Nay, the world itself is our Guru or God. The world we live in is a school in which observation and experience offer us immense possibilities for self-improvement. Nay, that the world itself is our Guru or God. We will stop the board here. Rest of the boards we will take it up tomorrow.